These supers, the mediums, are all full and have all been re-dipped. Let me see. These ones towards the end, I didn't have a lot of wax left, so I just dipped the top half on the ones that were already still had some wax on them from the previous year that they didn't finish. So those are all either waxed. The top one has comb in it. The rest of them are all re-waxed. I have a bunch of boxes. These boxes, I scraped down all the edges, got all the propolis off of them, and have them ready to go. And I have some new boxes over there from last year that I had made up and painted. My dad and I made up and I painted. These are all of the foundations that I took out of all of these frames. That's double stacked in there, plus that, and this is all full too. And there's more foundations right there. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Hunter Gatherer channel, aka the Honey Gatherer channel. And we're working on bee stuff. It's spring, turkey season is just finishing up, and the bees are really starting to build and starting to go, and we've got to be ready for a lot of the nectar flow, and hopefully we'll be able to get some good honey for this year. So we're on to the next project. We've been doing some splits, we've been doing some catching some swarms, and I showed you I was getting ready to take care of all of the boxes, cleaning them up, getting rid of some of the old wax and melting wax down. And we had a lot of frames. Sorry. We had a lot of frames that from dead outs and such that maybe looked like this, that had been scraped out, or this one was just kicking around, I think, up at my dad's house. But this one is kind of where the brood was, and this is all cocoons from where the larva was and the bee hatched out. And it just doesn't like to really accept the wax real well. I'm going to clean them all off and try to re-wax them, but really wasn't doing great. And I wanted to make sure that the bees would accept the foundation and really build them out. I went and ordered some new plastic foundations. And these are from Acorn Beekeeping Equipment. They were a pretty reasonable price, and I ordered 100 pack. I think they were $1.15 a piece, with them being double waxed. This is the first time I've ever ordered from Acorn Bee. I went with the white ones, and they were a good deal. Like I said, they're double waxed. They had, or extra wax, and they had like an extra wax. And if you ordered those, you got 10 less frames because they needed to keep the weight down for shipping. So I went with the extra wax, or double wax, or whatever they called it. And I'm going to be sticking these into all these frames, and there's 100 of them. So we're going to get at least 100 of these done, and that means we'll have 10 boxes ready to go. And then I'm going to go through and clean up all these other frames, and the ones that looked pretty clean, I'm going to go ahead and work those into the group as well. A couple videos ago, you saw that I got this turkey roaster, and I'm pretty excited about it. My $7.50 Salvation Army find. Now, it came with this insert, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to use that, and I tossed it to the side. Well, tonight I'm going to use it, because my game plan is I'm putting water in the bottom. I got to put a little bit more in there so it can boil. And then I'm going to put a little bit of water in one of these right here, and I'm going to put wax in there. And I got this this roller here. It's just a foam applicator, and it's a 6-inch. Now I got these double waxed, right? But I want to make sure that the bees really like them. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop them in here. I'm going to take this, wax, get wax all over this, and I'm going to go like so, just right down the center. Give them a little bit extra double, triple, quadruple thick wax on these frame foundations. And then we're going to put them in the boxes. So the ones that I get together and get waxed, they're going to be the ones that I use first. I've used about double or triple of this amount on my initial foundations that I have in my Honey Supers that I was dipping the whole frame. They got really, really coated. And that's good, but I used a lot of wax up. So that's why I want to give this foam roller a shot and try to just roll down the center. And I'm going to stick a bunch of this wax in that. I'll probably use maybe a quarter of it. I got to see if I can break this thing apart. And I might be able to break these edges off first. And just run with that first. This stuff is kind of tough. Let's see here. Let's start to use it as a chisel, maybe. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Ooh, got me. I used a hive tool and a hammer, and I broke the block in half, and then I broke it in like quarters. I got a couple of chunks in here trying to melt, and I don't know if it's going to work yet. I'm hoping it is. I'm going to put the lid on to keep as much heat in as possible. I have water underneath it, and then I have some water in the little tray. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, I have my helpers here, and they're going to come on over here and help me. So what we need, I was hoping that this wax was going to be melted because then we could pop one in and then wax it and put it right in a box. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to bring some boxes over. Tell me how you want to do it. Do you want boxes over here? Or do you want to just, we'll pop them in and we'll put them into boxes over there for now, and then we'll take them out to wax them and put them in different boxes. I know, it's touching them more than once, but we got to wait for the wax to melt. So, good answer. Grab a box. Brenna, come here. This is what we're doing. Watch. Brielle, you watch too. Okay, so we're going to pull out a foundation. We're going to snap it into the top. Like so. No, it doesn't snap in. We're just going to put it into the groove. Like that. And then we're going to push. There's a groove top and bottom. So pretty much just need to get it in the groove. Get with the groove. See that? And then we're going to put it into the box. Grab a frame, grab a foundation. Let's go. Come on over. The plan worked. We've got this wax all melted here. I've got a little bit of water in the bottom of that, like maybe an inch or so, and then the rest is wax, so that way the water would help melt the wax down. So I've got a bunch of these, so far 70 of them done, so I've got 30 more to do over there. And I've been scraping some of the wax off of the bottom edges, just the part that, this here, this bottom edge and the other bottom edge, there's extra wax on those areas, and that's where it goes into the frame. And so I've just been scraping this little bit off, which isn't a ton, but it adds up. So now I'm going to, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The moment of proof. The moment of truth. It's one of those things. It's a moment anyways. Let's see here. We're going to angle this like so. All right, let's see how this does. So that wax should be soaking into my roller here. So we'll see how it goes. Ooh. Just gonna run it right down the center like that. Here comes my lovely wife, my lovely assistant, Queen Bee. Whatever you want to call her, she's all of it. Just gonna run it right down the center, just like that. And that will just give us a little bit more wax in the middle. And so I've got the full boxes over here, an empty box here. I'm just grabbing from over this side. It's dripping. Wow, dripping wax on the floor. That's good stuff. Look at that frame. I don't know if you can see it in there. If the frame is in the frame. That is all from wax moth. You see how they chewed right into the wood like that. So I scraped all that off. I cleaned out the corners and the edges and all. And now, I'm gonna hit that wax. Boom. Boom. That's looking pretty awesome. Only 98 more to go. What do you think, babe? Working?
Pretty slick.
Boom. All right, everybody. That is the end of this video. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I did 100 frames or 100 plastic foundations. So this is what we've got. Like I said, there was already wax on those new foundations, but I painted a little bit more on there. We have 10 boxes with 10 frames each, all kind of painted on. Now my plan is to put these on as honey supers, so they'll draw this comb out for hive bodies next year for if we do splits or whatever. So we'll have drawn out comb ready to go. And if we don't do a lot of splits or catch swarms or whatever next year, we'll just use them again as honey supers. I'm thinking about possibly, instead of doing 10 frames, going to 9 frames and spacing them evenly, getting one of those 9 frame spacers. So that way it'll draw that comb out a little wider and it's a lot easier. Man, when we do the 9 frames, it's so much easier to decap them because they're sticking out past the frame and you're not having to fight with the ears on there or the rails or anything like that. So I think we're going to try that this year. Since I did only 100 of the foundations, I have still this barrel full of empty frames. So I'm probably going to go through, I do have, the shop is a mess, just so everybody knows. I do have some foundations that, like, they didn't draw out. So I can go with that. Like, I mean, this one I just don't think it's going to adhere to that. It's pretty gross, even if I brush it off. But if I go through and find ones that they never put any comb on, there's not much wax on that. So that's the problem. Therein lies the problem. I'm out of wax. So we're going to start with the 10 boxes we do have, plus the honey supers that we do have. And once we get some wax, we'll work on that. That's where all the boxes were. So I'm going to go back through. I'll probably either, put empty frames without the foundation in them into boxes, put those in the back, and the ones with the new foundations and the wax on them I'll put towards the front so I can go ahead and grab those out. But I want to get all these boxes put in there so I have space and clean this spot up. That's the end of the video. If you have extra wax, save it and make sure you put some extra wax on your foundation. It makes a huge difference. Those bees will get in there and start to really draw that out a lot faster. Like I showed you, some of those frames I had in boxes for the whole year and they never drew them out because there wasn't enough wax on there for them to even be interested. So get that wax on your foundations like Daniel-san, you know, wax on and wax on some more. Don't wax off. And that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. That was just another way, like I showed you before, I was dipping them in this way, painting them on. It was pretty easy. I mean, dipping them in was pretty quick, but this was pretty quick too. And that little $7.50 turkey roaster, I didn't think I was going to use those things, but man, they were the ticket. That worked really awesome. All right, hey, if you have any questions, post them down below. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you as a subscriber. Hopefully, if you don't enjoy the hunting or the fishing or the outdoors or the hiking or the gardening or the dogs or the other things that we do, the cooking and the preparation, all that stuff, but you like the bees, we would love you to come on in and check out the bee stuff when we bring it on. There'll be a lot of bee videos coming up. So that's it. We love you. God loves you, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks again for checking it out, and if you made it this far, you're awesome. You get a thumbs up. See you later.